One of the most important drills that we use in our facility is called hockey feet. We have seen hockey hands also. We can use that some, but we don't use it as much as we do with the feet, okay? What the hockey feet are gonna teach your body to do is how to block off with the front side. So as we sequence, we have certain parts of our bodies that must come to a complete stop. The first one being the hip. We have to be able to block off or use the front leg and the front hip as a solid brake. That is going to create the barrel direction through the zone. Let me show you why. We have a lot of hitters, and it doesn't matter how this foot gets down, okay? They'll want to peel off. Well, as I peel off, you'll see my shoulders are going to rotate open. My barrel is going to do this, okay? It has a very tendency to roll over on balls because once I'm here, as I do this, my chest is following the hips, and I'm gonna roll over. And you'll see how it kind of here, all right? So a lot of hitters have a hard time finding that feel of the blocking on the front side because they just haven't done it. Very few people teach it from a young age. And so then what happens is we develop this round off or this lack of braking on the front side, and then we have to develop it later on. The easiest way that we've found to develop this is to hit with hockey hands. So hockey hands, the front leg is going to be significantly in front of the back leg. Now, this is also going to help me feel my rear glute is going to be behind my heel, because that is one of the principles of power, that when the front foot gets down, your rear glute must be completely behind the heel for you to create power. If I'm up over it, it's gonna be very hard to block. It's gonna have any control, I'm gonna have instability. But once I'm down into here, then I have a very strong block on that front hip. As I move my heels back, if my normal stance is here, then this foot is gonna come up a little bit and then back, okay? And I'm gonna feel this right here. I'm gonna get used to the feeling of this glute behind my heel. As I come through the zone, there's my plate. I'm going to get into this. It's going to be impossible for me not to if I am in this position. Okay, here, and then as this blocks, the next part of the sequence is the chest or the torso. And my torso is going to come right through here, and I'm not able to pull off. Okay, we want you to think about working down through this leg. I want to think about this shoulder and this hip closing space here. I am not cutting down on the ball. What I'm not doing is collapsing. So if I collapse on the backside, or I rotate in and collapse, then now I've activated my low back to pull me off. But what's going to happen is when I have that hockey foot out there, it's going to give me the feel here. I'm going to stay torso nice and work down through here. As my barrel gets down through the zone, it is going to continue through because this hip blocks, then my shoulders stop. The sequence continues with the end of the barrel, which is going to be through here. Hitters that start on this drill, have never used it before, call us literally daily. It becomes their favorite drill. They start really driving balls middle away. So as you're working through that drill, let's say that if on the program you have 10 swings in that position on a certain zone. Once we get to about say 6 or 7, once we're into like week 2 and we have a good idea of this and we're starting to feel it and we're starting to walk our way back in, I'm gonna take my swing, I'm gonna move up a little bit, I'm gonna take my swing. Now I'm gonna try to find out at what point am I able to continue to hold my glute behind my heel. How am I able to stay hinged? That's what this will be called, is the hinge of the back hip and the front hip. The front hip is gonna be the blocker, okay? Now, there is going to be a point where we get up here and we're too even, maybe, where that front hip wants to fly open just a little bit. And that's just because that's the way your body is made. Take a small step back, feel it again. Many of our hitters, I wouldn't say stay closed, but a little more closed than what they want. Because remember, as we cycle, for us to get the lower half in its most powerful position, when we load, this hip bone has got to be in front of this hip bone. I've got to be here. I can't be open as I load. As my foot comes down, I can't be open, okay? It's very common. We teach the open foot towards, let's say, the second baseman a lot, because as I put that foot there, my glute is automatically behind my heel. So as we sit here and I close here, I'm automatically in my braking position, in my powerful position. I can now cycle, and you're gonna notice that the barrel is gonna just continue to go through the zone. So not only are we gonna get in the zone very, very quickly, we're gonna stay in the zone very, very long. That's gonna allow me to cover all 17 inches of the plate, including the very back corner. Or let's say we get fooled and we have an off-speed pitch that we just are ahead of, we're gonna be able to stay through it and at least drive it, okay, instead of just flipping our wrists at it. We're gonna be able to keep that barrel direction through, catch it, versus just flipping our wrists here, and then we'll just continue to drive the ball. Hockey feet,